26 feet high. It's not 26 feet high. It's 26 inches high. That's probably my typo. Anyway, 18.
Wouldn't that be something, 26 feet?
The interesting thing with this piece is, well, let's talk about the wood real quick. Coca-Cola is a very rare wood, and it's kind of hard to find. It's also very toxic, so you have to be very careful when you work with it. It has delightful stain, delightful rain running through it, very hard wood. And then the strips, the bent strips that you see running through the piece are oak and walnut. And if you know wood, it's very difficult to bend oak or walnut because they're also very hard woods. Yeah. And I actually bought some specially treated wood from Oregon that is designed to be able to bend because they inject it so much with water that all of the cells in the wood are so full of water that they're easily bent, and they remain bent once you bend them. So that's what's special about this piece. If you know wood, it's a kind of a special kind of a piece because of that. And
you can bend it just without having to heat it, steam it, or anything?
Correct.
You can just bend it easily?
Ice berry and just bend it as hard as I can, and it won't break, and it just bends like putty.
Wow.
Where is that Coca-Cola wood from? What region is it?
I think it's African or South American, and it's such a cool wood that, and it's very, very expensive that I bought this piece of wood probably 5 to 6 years ago, I think, and it's increasingly got more and more rare and hard to find. And I did stain the oak so that it would blend more with the walnut, which is not stained, and with the Coca-Cola, which is not.
Part of my flower series that I've been doing, or that I had been doing a year ago, and just experimenting with layering a lot of paint, and it's mostly paint and ink with some pastel work. But I mean, it was totally different from what it started out to be. But it was fun to do, lots of layering.
Chris, did you put the ink down first or last?
I put it down last because all the black is ink.
And that adheres to the acrylic?
Yep. Oh, so now they have Liquitex ink. So I mean, that's what I use because it's waterproof. Because a lot of the other inks I find are not.
So this is acrylic ink then?
Yeah, it's really acrylic ink.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Very nice.
I like the two
Aura.
pale areas at the top and bottom. It gives it depth.
Yeah, it does.
Ulrika, beautiful.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Very
So
Whoa.
I didn't know I want to contribute. I want to submit something. This is a couple of years old. It's just hard and soft pastels. And I thought the story was kind of fun. I had a carpenter helping me out around the house. And we hit it off, and he was so nice and very supportive of my art. And he said, my granddaughter, could you maybe paint this? This is my granddaughter. I want to give it to her mom for Mother's Day. And I thought, oh, this is great. Let me do this. So I did the drawing and helped him frame it, and he gave it to his daughter. And a few months later, I started a new job, and his daughter is my boss. So the first thing she does is, hug me really hard and said, this is the best gift she ever got. I thought that was kind of funny, so.
Very pastel.
Nice
Very
pastel.
nice. Very nice.
Very good.
And I was really nervous because it meant a lot to him, and, it's his dog and it's his grandbaby, and, you can't mess this up. So I just had to exhale and think it's just shapes and forms, shapes and forms. It's not a little precious girl, it's just shapes.
Yeah, I appreciate that you got the hair so fine using pastel.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like acrylic to me, the painting.
It
Yeah?
does,
Yeah.
yeah. And I didn't have to squint.
See, I'm trying my best, Joan, to support your needs.
It's lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
You saw this maybe 3 years ago. It's pen and ink drawing. I don't know if you remember that I took a bus tour to Anza Borrego, and this was our tour guide. And I kind of fell in love with him because he is the sharpest. He looks like a mountain man, and he dresses like a mountain man, but his mind is so fabulous. I think he must be a trained geologist. He could tell you all about the tectonic plates and why these rocks rose up. And he could actually tell you when he was showing us the desert flowers, he could tell us which one got pollinated first. I mean, he had a heck of a brain. And so I was sitting in the bus coming home, and I caught him. I was sitting in this seat and I caught this angle. And I think I told you I had not done art for over 30 or 40 years. And this is the very first entry of mine back into art right before I came back, joined art Agnc. So learning to do all this feathering of the ink lines, it's all cross hatching. And then his face is kind of tilted 3/4 of a way. It's not just a profile, but it's also looking up at his face. It was very challenging, but I think I remember telling you that I was so happy to sign my autograph on a piece of artwork the first time in 30 or 40 years.
Wow.
Exceptional,
Joan.
Very cool.
I can't, seeing it up close and personal, I'm sure is just even more incredible than when it looks there. That cross hatching, you've done just a superb job.
It is. It's wonderful.
And the clothes,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
that's amazing.
It's fantastic. It looks like he keeps turning. It looks very alive.
Yeah, thank you. See, there's more to me than a camera.
Oh, yeah.
Here we
Really
go.
great.
Thanks, guys.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
nice.
Just wonderful. Barry.
Whoa.
Well,
You're getting more minimalistic every time we see you.
I know.
I tried all this damn abstract stuff, and Jazzercise kept telling me to throw it on the garbage dump. So this, I've called it a mixed media because the trees there are twigs from my pepper.
Oh, I see.
And that's a desert I've been lucky enough to spend some time in, and that's where all the diamonds come from in Southern Africa, or a lot of the diamonds from Southern Africa comes from there. Used to be Southwest Africa, now Namibia. So it's a little thing that I just did last week.
What does MM stand for? Acrylic what?
Oh, mixed media.
Mixed media. Sorry
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
the first time I've come up with the word mixed media and something with mine. Acrylic with twigs.
It's a nice composition, guys. Very nice composition.
Yeah.
Very nice.
From I think it was on Facebook, a travel thing for Namibia, and it reminded me. I mean, I was there in the 1960s, and it reminded me of it, and I took a screenshot as it went by and painted it from that.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like the colors.
It's a unique
I mean,
place.
it's so interesting, Barry, what you've done with the lines in this piece. I mean, it does everything. You've done everything right, as far as, not having it in the middle and just the whole thing. It's so interesting. The white jumps out at you and it accentuates the trees, which you say are twigs. I mean, it's just really cool.
You're turning into Picasso.
Yeah.
Remember how he progressed to almost just putting a line on the page? It's very, very nice. Lovely.
Yeah, it's very dynamic.
Thanks, Barry.
Cool.
Next.
And Joy.
Minimalist.
Oh.
Yes, thanks, Chris.
Hi, watercolor abstract experiment. and but I always want to find something inside. So I look at some horse inside, and I just shape a little better like a horse. So I put.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, definitely.
See it.
Well, I saw it right away as the paintings. Remember you sent them into Jazzercise, the horse racers, the jockeys and the horses? I saw it.
The Jazzercise says that one I only can do abstract as a background, and I put some figures and obvious to see. And this experiment is just mixed together. Looks like and not like.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks very abstract, expressionist.
Very nice. I love the palette, Joy.
It's really good.
The darks against the lights are just really striking.
Yeah. I like it.
You know, Joy, it seems like every week you're presenting something that is just outstanding. I mean, you become,
Actually, I did a lot of traditional watercolor every day. I just
crazy.
want to improve my skills, and abstract is very challenging, but I like it, and get like more and more with the group, with the critic, and learning from you guys. So I think it's very interesting. And
Beautiful.
Yeah, between Joy and Barry, we're producing 2 Picassos in this group. Thanks,
Put me in
Joy.
the same sentence as Joy, please.
Thank you.
3 Picasso.
Yeah, this
There
is
you go.
A little bit of a
based
Agnc.
on some Maori art that I saw when I was in New Zealand several years ago. And this painting's probably about 10 years old. It's just very muted palette for me, but it was fun doing it.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
I like the patterns and everything too. Nice flow.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You come up with
I entered this, Cole, and you have to give it a name. So just having fun, I named it too. That's
yeah, that's cool. I love it.
And
When did you do this?
Makes me look at the
about 10 years. About 10 years ago.
Really?
2009, 2010.
What did you use for the texture on the parrots? Is it like
it's some oil pastel. On the oil pastel on the parrots and acrylic, and most of the rest of it is acrylic.
That's really an unusual palette for you, Michael.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
of course, this is when I was just doing a little bit of everything. Can you?
Well, that's an experiment that I was working with, and I decided to try to use circles, and I first drew all those straight lines and vertical lines, and I use acrylic, which I don't normally use acrylic as much, and then I put those circles in there to give it a balance, and try to focus, try to make you focus towards the center of the painting.
What makes it a mixed media?
Well, I used acrylics, and sometimes I added some watercolor into it.
Okay.
And so and some glazes so that it gives it some brightness to it.
Great palette, Pico.
Yeah, I think this is one of your better ones, Pico.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
The addition of the turquoise really makes it pop.
Oh no, I was in a series of paints that I was using vertical and horizontal lines in the painting.
Okay.
It's very Southwest looking in nature, and with the round circles and your very loose brush, it's like a dream catcher.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This is alabaster, which is a soft stone. I did a long time ago. I don't even know what lifetime. The base is granite. It's the whole thing is real heavy because the piece is big.
You say you want to walk out the door.
And the base is also,
We're out of here.
Scotch.
But yeah, it's one that you'd have to see from different angles.
Yeah, because it looks different. It's not very thick, and actually looks, when I'm looking in here, it looks like I see a hand over here. but that was not, when you see it, it looks more like a heart. The whole thing is a heart shape to me, which I think is why I called it Rebirth.
Mm.
But, like everything, you have to see it in person. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But
Just a beautiful structure, the balance and the color. That's what I like about it.
thank you, yeah. And I enjoyed making it. But as I said, it's a long time ago. I don't even know what year.
How heavy is this?
Well, the granite is very heavy itself, and that piece, it's been so long. I mean, when you lift it, it's really hard.
Probably 50 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy piece.
Mhm.
Shadow.
Great coloration in that stone. Boy, that
Yeah.
really has beautiful veins in it.
Yeah, that's why I like often with, well, there's marble too that's beautiful, but this, I've done a few pieces with this type of alabaster, not this piece, but same colors kind of stone with different serrations in it. So
Really?
yeah, everything goes by pound. So I think alabaster now is about $2 a pound.
Mm.
So, as I said, it depends on
Mhm.
how much you buy,
Yeah.
and the shape and stuff like that. I always have I think I get a lot of compliments on it, so it's one of my better pieces, I would say.
It's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
I just love the headdress when I did it. So that was kind of the reason for doing the whole piece.
Is this recent, Carol?
No.
I was going to ask if it was in a class. Did you do it in Sally's class or something? No.
Yeah.
How big is it? I'm just curious.
It's small. It's probably about 7 or 8 inches wide by, 12, 13 tall. It's on wood.
Oh, it's all
Oh,
wood.
wow.
I like doing on wood. Is it's acrylic, did you say, or oil?
Yeah, it's totally acrylic.
Acrylic? Okay. I've done oil on wood, which I really like.
Nice.
And it's it's palette knife also.
Ah, I like that.
Catch that at the bottom.
Yeah, wood has a really different texture than canvas.
Yes,
And
yeah.
it's kind of more smooth and pasty looking,
Right.
which is, gives it a characteristic. Thank you, Carol.
Awesome.
This is a older painting, and I've always been kind of intrigued with the idea of trying to paint mandalas, but not do it geometrically, kind of a more naturalistic mandala effect. So I've done several with sort of kind of flower or floral patterns and tried to make them so that it's what's the word I'm looking? Symmetrical.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Boy, it's nice to be looking at it.
Yeah.
Meditating or something like that.
Yeah.
When I watch it, it kind of vibrates.
It
Yes.
does.
Yes, for sure.
It kind of reminds me of the time I went to the Contemporary in La Jolla to see Ellsworth Kelly's paintings. He does these huge sort of blocks of color that are monochromatic, but when you put them together, and the way he put them together, they vibrate. And I had read an article about it that said that happened. So I went, and in fact, they do vibrate, or you do get that sense of vibration. I happened to talk to one of the guards there, and he said that he had to ask to be put in another room because, 8 hours with the vibrating paintings kind of just put him over the edge.
Mission accomplished.
Everything outlined there. That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Wonderful. I love
Is it the colors?
Awesome.
Is it the colors that vibrate or the pattern?
I think it's the pattern of the juxtaposition of the colors. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
The other thing you really maybe can't see that well, and a certain kind of 3D glasses that separate the colors.
Yeah.
Wow.
And especially if you surround the colors with black, which I did do here. The cooler colors kind of recede and the hotter colors pop out. So if you look at this through the glasses, each of those colors would be a kind of a different layer. And yeah, then you really get some vibration going on.
Yeah.
This is an assignment in Sally's class, and it's all oil. Well, no, I put down oil pastel first, and then I went back and did oil over the top of it. But it's 20 by 20 thing, so I just sent it.
I want to welcome you, Linda. It's great to have you on board.
Thank you.
And,
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
How's your dog?
Yeah, it's a 20 by 20.
And the assignment was to do a bird or what?
A parrot.
Oh, a parrot specifically.
Yeah, you could zoom in, you could do just the regular size, or so. I'm kind of into eyes. I like eyes.
I like the position of the head and the way it goes off the canvas.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I was zooming in, and I had fun with the colors. And red takes forever to dry.
Fabulous. I love it, Linda. So cool.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very striking.
Something I got, this is where I am right now, San Juan Capistrano, and this is a part of the exhibit of their plein air thing. And I've never heard of Peter Adams, but they say he's internationally famous.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very nice exhibit, so. Okie dokes.